Felix Emeka Anyam. I am co-coordinator of the Next Gen U Public Health U program. So I'm welcoming you to this beautiful session, webinars, where you have all come to learn skills and aspects that will be beneficial in taking your academic career forward. So you're welcome. And I would also like my colleague Zubeda to also introduce herself and welcome you too. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for attending this webinar. Receive a warm welcome, and we hope you enjoy it and find it helpful. Thank you, Felix.
Thank you. Thank you, Zubeda. You're welcome. So for this first part of the session, we would have two sessions, actually. The first session would be for literature search, because if you're going to be using the Mendeley to automate your referencing, which is the primary goal of this workshop, you need to also know how to search what you're going to automate, because, oh, you know now how to use the Mendeley reference. You can reference your articles when you find them, but how do you search for the article that you would like to reference? So that's why I would take that part of the search first, because searching is a skill. It's not like just going on Google and just put the information and search. There are certain skills that you need to acquire that will help you search for the exact article that you need. Because most of the time, I've heard students tell you, oh, I am not able, I have searched and searched and searched, and I am not able to find the article or the literature I am looking for. Well, I guess, and I believe after this session, that will not be your story anymore. So you are all welcome to this session. So I would commence with the first lecture. Okay. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes, Victor, please.
Oh, okay, beautiful. So we'll be looking at search strategy design and techniques. Now that you'll be doing your final assignment or you'll be writing some portion of your dissertation, you would need to know how to search for literatures effectively. And that is very, very critical as a researcher, as an academic, as a young lecturer, or you want to fully go into research. These aspects, you can't take it away because it is more like the bedrock in helping you make a good argument in every research that you are doing. Good argument is based on good literature findings. If you're not able to retrieve these articles from where they are situated, then it will be very challenging for you to make these arguments. So that's why I find this session very, very beneficial. So I will take the slide, which is the theory path, then I will now go into the practical path. And I'm very happy this session is recorded so that you can go over it, again and again. So, purpose of a literature review. Why do we do a literature review? In other words, why do you search for article to help in whatever right thing you are doing? One, to gain understanding of the subject matter. Possibly your subject matter is noise-induced hearing loss. You want to know what causes noise-induced hearing loss. Like in my own case, I'm very passionate about noise-induced hearing loss. And this passion about noise-induced hearing loss is actually what motivated me to make a little switch from my public health, epidemiological, biostatistical background into the audio engineering field. So I had to study for another bachelor's in digital audio engineering because I have this interest in controlling noise, in helping religious centers reduce sound pressure levels. So my second master's, I had to merge my public health degree and my audio engineering degree. And I did a study where I looked at the effect of exposure to loud sound on musicians. On loud sound on musicians. So since I am passionate about noise-induced hearing loss, I need to know what is happening out there. I don't want to base my knowledge of the fact that I think loud exposure to loud sound is responsible for noise-induced hearing loss, meaning a hearing loss that is caused by loud sound or exposure to dangerous amounts of decibels. So I had to go online there and search for what other people are doing. It gives you great understanding of your subject matter, you know, because you don't want to be a local champion. You don't just want to be in your vicinity. Even if you have identified the problem, which I did, I think there's a problem with tinnitus that's ringing in the ear. I think there's a problem with musicians losing their hearing over time. But I need evidence to back up my, thoughts in this subject matter. So this is what searching for literatures helped me. It helped me to gain understanding of the subject matter. And also it helped me to avoid duplication of my research work. When I read other people's work, then I know in what direction they are going. That way we won't duplicate effort. Because there's no need if a research on noise-induced hearing loss has been carried out in my region, in my location, especially Port Harcourt, and within 5 years I am doing the same study. No, it's not usually recommended. So if a study that you want to do is already done and is within 5 years, it's not appropriate to do the same study, because your supervisors will ask you, why are you repeating the same study? Do you think you will find something different? So that is another thing. Seeing what other people are doing helps. You know, that way you don't duplicate your research work. The third thing is to relate your findings to previous studies, because you would need this when you begin to do some kind of discussion of your findings in your research work. You begin to relate it with what other people have gotten. Let's say now I did a study, noise-induced hearing loss, and I got a prevalence of 36%. I want to know what they found in another city. The one I did was in my city, Port Harcourt. I want to know what they found in Lagos, what they found in Abuja, what they found in Enugu. And I would also want to know what they found in neighboring African countries like Ghana, like Sierra Leone, like Senegal. And I would take it ahead to know what they found in Europe, what they found in the United States, even what they found in Asia, and also in the Arab countries. That way you'll be able to tell whether your prevalence is higher or whether your prevalence is lower. If I find a prevalence of like 36% in Nigeria, and I'm able to find a prevalence of like 25% somewhere else, then it tells me we need to have stringent measures to curb loud sound, because our prevalence is higher than what is out there. So this is what literature helps you do. The other part is to identify possible research areas. Sometimes you may be blank, truly. You want to do this, but you don't know where to start. By the time you go online and you see what other people are doing, you're inspired. The other one is identify gaps in knowledge. Very key. You don't want to be duplicating other people's work. You want to find a niche for yourself. You want to find that area that is novel for your research. So when you go online and you begin to see what other people are doing, You can tell yourself, oh, I think this study is beautiful. We have something in common, but the researchers looked at this area, this area, this area. Like the study that was done on noise-induced hearing loss in Port Harcourt didn't do measurement of hearing loss among the musicians. What they did was they only tested the sound pressure level in the religious centers in the churches. That was what they did. They didn't go to begin to test the musicians, you know, if they truly have hearing loss. So when I saw that study, I said, wow, this is beautiful. So this study is good. It's on noise-induced hearing loss, but they have a gap. The gap is their focus was on the sound pressure level in the religious houses, in the churches. So in my own, I would also do that. I also measured the sound pressure level in the religious houses. Then I went further to also test their ears for hearing loss using an audiometry application, which was recommended by the World Health Organization. So you see, if I didn't do that search and I didn't find that paper, I wouldn't be able to know where the gap is and where I should step in. So the other one is to formulate research questions. Almost like what I said previously, you're blank, you don't know how to progress. So searching for literature inspires you and you begin to formulate what questions that you want to ask. Like in my own case, one of the questions I asked was, is increase in age responsible for enhancing the prevalence of noise-induced hearing loss? So the next thing you need to know is Pico. This is what guides your search on the internet. So for every research title, for every research topic you have carved out, for every topic or title you want to write about, whether in your final assignment, whether in your dissertation, you need to know, one, the population you're interested in. Two, if there's going to be an intervention or if they are going to be exposed to something or treatment. The third one, if there is going to be some comparison. And the other one, the outcome, which is the effect of the intervention or the effect of the exposure. So you have the P, the I, the C, and the O. And I want you to appreciate the fact that every research has two things, majorly, exposure and outcome. What they are exposed to and what will lead to that exposure. For example, there are studies to show that exposure to smoking will lead to lung cancer. There are studies that shows that exposure to contaminated water will lead to diarrhea. There are studies that show that exposure to soot or bad air, contaminated air, could lead to acute respiratory tract infection. So everything that you do in a research is to be able to associate an exposure and an outcome. And that plays a role in your search because you need to be able to tell what your exposure is. Because if you're not able to define your exposure, if you're not able to define what your outcome is, if you're not able to define your population, then you will do a terrible search. So I'll use this as an example, my own study. The aim of the study, which is also almost like the title of the study, is to determine noise exposure levels and its health consequences among gospel instrumentalists in Pentecostal churches in Port Harcourt City, Nigeria, where I live. So what is the population here? Musicians, instrumentalists. That's my population. What is the intervention or the exposure? Loud noise, sound. What is the comparison? Not applicable because I was not comparing one group to another group. And what is the outcome? I am seeking for those that have noise-induced hearing loss. That's my study outcome. And the outcome sometimes is called dependent variable. Okay? Why the exposures or the intervention, sometimes you call them independent what? Variable. So Once you're able to define your P, define your I, define your C, if applicable, and define your O, then it makes your search very easy and you'll be able to get the materials you need. Now, I have made this available for you, where to find quality research openly accessible, because sometimes students worry, oh, I'm not able to have a site where I can get materials I need. So I've provided them for you. If you're looking for general materials, then you can go to Zenodo, you can go to OnPaywall, you can go to Science Open, you can go to list of open access databases, and the rest listed there. African Principle for Open Access and Scholarly Communication, they are all there in the general. If you're looking for institutional repositories, meaning schools that are storing their research work, then you can go to this section, institutional repository. There you can find the information that you need. We have Open Door, we have the Base, we have the Association of African Universities, we have Cornell Universities, and there are many more. But what I tried to do was to pick the ones that are really, really good, and put them here. So what you have here are the good stuff. The ones that are not so good, I left them behind. So if you're looking for journals, then you can go to Duach, very popular. You can try Google Scholar, even Google itself that we'll be using to do our examples of search here. Then PubMed is there, Get the Research is there, Open Knowledge Map is there. If you're looking for books, then you can go to DWAP, Directory of Open Access Book, or Intech Open. If you're looking for data repositories, meaning you want the data, you want secondary data to actually analyze and write up, a research, then you can use the Read3 data, very popular, or you can use the Dryad, or you can use Figshare, which is also popular. So strategies for searching, there's something they call the Boolean Operators. You need to understand what they are. The Boolean Operators, we have the AND, we have the OR, we have the NOT. But in our own search, we'll be using more of the AND, we'll be using more of the OR, and we'll be using more of the star or the quotation mark. So when you search in Google, these things, they mean something. For example, when you add the first word and you add a star, you are telling Google, give me everything you have on DAF. That's what star means. If you're adding an AND, you're telling Google, give me the information with the first word and link it to the second word. If you're using an OR, you're telling Google, give me the information you have for this or this. Whichever one you can find, give it to me. Then if you're going to be putting the quotation mark, then it means you have different words that actually mean the same thing, so you have to log them. Because if you search them individually, Google is going to bring different meaning to each of that word. And I will show you what I mean. So at this time now, thank you. So this is where we would end this slide. So now we're going to be going to practicals. So I'm going to be sharing a browser so that we can do some little search. Very good. So can you see my browser now?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. So why I'm showing you this, because I want us to do some practical section on how to search for article, okay? I'm glad this is recorded so that you can always go back to it. So in our own case, or in my own case, we've been able to identify our population. We've been able to identify our exposure. We've been able to also identify the outcome that we're interested in, which is noise-induced hearing loss. So let me show you what I meant by the star. For example, if I want to get information on, I want to know something on let's say I want to know something on mortality. For example, mortality. Then I say mortality and I put a star. The moment I say mortality and a star, I am telling Google, give me everything you have on mortality. That's what that star means. So if I do mortality and I do put a star and I say enter, you would notice that everything you will find would be on mortality. Definition of mortality, mortality definition, child mortality, maternal mortality, mortality frequency, mortality demography. Even if I do next, it still continues. Everything you will find would be on mortality. Epidemiological mortality, that is the way it will be. Morbidity versus mortality, that is how it will be. It will not change because it is a programming language that search engine understands. Okay, so that is the first thing I was trying to explain to you when I showed you my slide. Now, the second thing is, if I now want to do like 2 words, maternal mortality, I want you to appreciate the fact that maternal means something, mortality means something, and rate also means something. So if you put the search this way, maternal mortality rate, your search will not be very effective because Google is going to give you things on maternal separately. It's going to give you things on mortality separately. It's going to give you things on rates separately. I know once in a while it may add the 3 of them, but it will not be effective. So you'll be seeing things on maternal, later you see things on mortality, later you see things on rates. So that's why we say if you're going to be using words that mean the same thing to you, so if you're going to be using words that mean the same thing and you want them to come out the same, then you have to lock them using the quotation mark. So I have maternal mortality, so I have to put a quotation mark here and I have to put a quotation mark here. What I'm telling Google is, please give me informations you have on maternal mortality rates together. I don't want to see only maternal. I don't want to see only mortality. I don't want to see only rates. I want to see the 3 appear in my search. So once I lock these 3 words and I say enter, you will see that's exactly what Google will do. Maternal mortality, maternal mortality, maternal mortality ratio, maternal mortality rates, maternal mortality rates. Are you appreciating what is happening here? Okay, so this is how it works. You use a star to tell Google, give me everything on that word. You use the quotation mark to lock words that you want Google to merge together when they are giving you the information. Because although the individual words may mean something, but you want it together. All right. Now that is explained, the other thing I was trying to tell you is the and. The other thing I was trying to tell you is the and. You want to tell Google to give you 2 things at the same time, then you have to use and. So in our own case now, I want Google to give me prevalence. And prevalence of what? Malaria. Malaria. The moment you say prevalence and malaria, you're telling Google, give me everything you have about the prevalence of malaria. That's why you're joining prevalence and malaria. So that and is a Boolean term that tells Google, I need any information you give me, let it be on prevalence of malaria. So any information you give me, let it be on what? Prevalence of malaria. So that's why you have to join the two words with and. So now we've done prevalence and malaria and search. Once you do your enter search, you will see what Google will give you will be information on malaria prevalence. So here we have malaria, and it's talking about the cases here. Are you seeing that? If you scroll down, are you seeing it? Prevalence of malaria, epidemiology prevention, malaria prevalence, trend in malaria prevalence, in malaria impact worldwide, prevalence of plasmodium, malaria, so it will be giving you information on prevalence of malaria because you have joined prevalence and malaria. Let's say you want to add another term, Nigeria. Because here, if you're looking at this now, you will probably not be seeing Nigeria, okay? It will give you prevalence of malaria generally in any African country. But I don't want any African country. I need this information to be focused on Nigeria. I want to know the prevalence of malaria in Nigeria. So I'm going to do prevalence and malaria and Nigeria. You see, the game will change. Most of the information is going to give me now will be on Nigeria. And you say enter. So you see that in Nigeria winning the battle against malaria. Are you seeing what is happening? Malaria in Nigeria. Are you seeing that? Malaria, WHO information, but C is in Nigeria, 31.9%. Incidence of malaria in Nigeria. Prevalence of plasmodium falciparum among Nigerians. Are you seeing what is happening? Is Nigeria winning the battle against malaria? So let it not be that I am hyping this. Maybe I have kept it somewhere to show you. I'm going to remove Nigeria, and I'm going to add another country, maybe Senegal. I'm going to add Senegal, and let's see if it will be a game changer. So I've added Senegal, and I will say enter. Are you seeing it? Malaria in what? Senegal. It has changed. Malaria prevalence and prevention treatment seeking in Senegal. If you check here, you will know it's talking about Senegal, malaria transmission in Senegal. Are you seeing what is happening? Southeast Senegal. Incidence of malaria in Senegal. Prevalence of malaria in Dakar, Senegal. So that is how it works. So you use the and to join words that you are looking for. So
we have a question. I don't know if I can read it or we wait.
Okay, you can read it to me. It's okay. Fine.
It is about the and with capital letter. What happens if we use small letters when writing it?
Well, if you use a small letter, it won't be very effective like the capital letter because these are programming terms that the computer understands. They are coded terms, so you have to use them the way they are. It's like using star. You can't say, oh, I want to use minus or I want to use plus. The computer doesn't understand that. So the and the or, they have to be in capital letters. That's the only way the search engine will understand what you mean or what you want.
Thank you for the clarification.
Thank you. So apart from and, the other one is that I mentioned is or. Or comes in when you want to do like a comparison, meaning that, oh, I'm interested in prevalence of malaria in Senegal and Nigeria. And I want the search engine to bring information either in Nigeria or either in Senegal. Anywhere it brings the information for me, it's fine. I'm not really particular. Then you can use or. And if you're going to use or, you have to put it in bracket. What I mean is prevalence and malaria, and you're going to put bracket close, then Senegal or Nigeria, then bracket bracket open and bracket close. So this is how it's going to be. So what you're saying is, please, I need information on the prevalence of malaria, but it can be from Senegal, it can be from Nigeria. I'm not so specific. So when you need either options, you can use or for that. And that's what is going to happen. So I'm going to do this and I'm going to search. You will see at one time, it will give you information on Senegal. At another time, it will give you information on Nigeria. So you see the first data is Senegal. The second data is Senegal. The third data is Nigeria. Are you seeing what is happening? The fourth data is Nigeria. You see? So that is what is going to happen. So the moment you say or, it's going to be sharing it between Nigeria and Senegal. It's not going to be specific. At some time, it will bring out statistics in Senegal. At another time, it will bring out statistics in Nigeria. That is the purpose of the or. Give me either this or this, whichever one you find. I can take it. All right. So now you see how this is playing. We're going to be doing practical with the research topic that I've given you, which is the prevalence of noise-induced hearing loss amongst musicians. So what is the population in that study? Musicians. So I have musicians, I have instrumentalists. So I'm going to use all. So if Google finds musicians, please give it to me. If you find instrumentalists, please give it to me. I need both. So first, I'm going to do brackets. So I'm going to do musician or instrumentalist. Anyone you find, I need it. Then bracket close. And you're going to do and. What's the exposure? The exposure is either noise, either loud noise or sound. Bracket close. And what's the other one? I'm going to lock noise-induced hearing loss because I want it to be one word. I'm going to lock it. Noise, because it should be one word for me. Because if I don't lock it, it's going to bring things on noise separately, noise on induced separately, noise on hearing separately, noise on loss, because they are all words that mean different things. So, but I'm going to lock it. Noise-induced hearing loss, because I want it to be one word, or noise-induced hearing loss. Because some articles are going to use noise-induced hearing loss in full, while some articles are going to use the abbreviation, which is NILHL. So you don't want to miss that. So that's why you have to do noise-induced hearing loss, lock it so that it brings it together, or NI. So any article that has NIHL, you're welcome, because you mean the same thing. Any article that has the full words, you're welcome. So this is what you do, and you do your search. So you're going to be saying, see, they're all there. Noise-induced hearing loss, exposure to noise. I mean, everything you find will be so relevant, so relevant. You're going to find relevant article. You see, prevalence of noise-induced hearing loss in student musicians, noise-induced hearing loss among professional musicians. You're going to find relevant things. So it's not this one you will search and search and search and search and you're tired. You're like, oh, I've been searching since morning. I can't find anything. No, you can't find anything because you're not following Pico strategy. Once you know your population, you know your exposure or intervention, you know your comparison if it's applicable, and you know your outcome. Trust me, the information will be out there for you. So now you have done this. Now you have done this. There's something else that you need to do. If you do this and leave it this way, most of the information it's going to give to you will be abstract. So that's why you want to give a command for it to give you only full articles. So if you want to get only full articles, well, let us look at this and see. This is a Springer article. Let me open it and let's see what it looks like. I'm going to open this. It's talking about noise-induced hearing loss too. Let's see what that article means. Okay. So this is it. This is full article. It has the PDF there. So let's see which other article. So we have another article here. Boring Hub is here. So this is another article that has to do with noise-induced hearing loss. Okay. Okay, so did you see what I'm showing you now? You see this one is open access. Open access. Let me try to get the PDF. Let me try to get the PDF. Okay, the PDF is available. So this is good. This is good. So sometimes when you do a search like this, some of the articles it will bring you will be full, while some will be abstract. But if you want it to give you only full articles, then you're going to do something. You're going to say, and you're going to add PDF. Once you say and PDF, it's going to give you only full articles. You're not going to find abstract. So I'm going to add and PDF and I'm going to search. So you will see that most of the articles it's going to give you will be full articles and you will have the PDF to download. See, PDF, see, PDF, you see? So this symbol PDF here is telling you that these are full articles. You can download me for free, PDF, you know? So that is it. But now I want to focus on a particular region because once you do this, it's going to give you articles from different countries. But I want to focus on a specific region. So before the PDF, I want it to focus on Nigeria. So I'm going to do and Nigeria. Give me the article specific for Nigeria. Then I will now add the and again. Did you get that? So if you want it to be specific to your region, it could be Sierra Leone, could be Ghana, could be India, you know, just put, after you've typed the search engine for your Pico, just add and your country or your region or your state, then and PDF and you search. So you see there will be a game changer now. So most of the articles it will give to me will be from Nigeria. So I'm going to search now. You see? You see? Health effect of noise exposure levels among instrumentalists. This is my article. You see? It brought my article. See? You see my name? Because I published something on noise-induced hearing loss. So, all right. So this is it. Okay. You see? Effect of occupational. You see? If we go to the next page, you see? Nigerian folk musicians. You see? This is assessment of noise level on those states. On those states is a state in Nigeria. Okay? So that is what is going to be, doing. So let's see. Oh, I'm opening my article. It has downloaded it already. So I'm opening it. So it came out when I added Nigeria. So I looked at health effect of noise exposure among instrumentalists in Pentecostal churches in Nigeria. So it was an excerpt from my dissertation, second master's degree. Okay, so you get that now, and that is very clear. So that is how you search. Okay, so you can take these steps I've given you, and you can practice, and you can practice, and you can practice, and you will not be able to join the group that always say, oh, I search and search and search, and I can't find anything. So before we go to the next session, which is teaching you how to now cite, automate your, search, so that you don't have to be doing manual referencing, which is really good to learn at this stage. So does anyone have any question with regards to the search strategy before we move to how to use the Mendeley?
There is a question, Felix, about
Okay.
the word PDF. Should it be written in lowercase letters or capital
Yes.
letters? Does it matter?
Yeah, for the PDF, I think it doesn't really matter. Anyone would work. For the PDF, it doesn't matter. Anyone would work. But for the Boolean characters, the and, the or, you have to use them in capital, because that is what the search engine understands. Yeah, but for the PDF, it doesn't really matter.
Great. Thank you, Felix.
Thank you. Okay, so can we just move ahead to the Mendeley search? Then later we can take our questions. Is that okay? All right. So I'm going to share my screen again. So we would go to the slide for the Mendeley. So the way it is, I'm going to show you the slide, but this first slide is the installation, how to install the Mendeley. Okay, so the reason why I'm making this slide is to help, because I know after this class, some of you will want to install the Mendeley. So what I try to do is to make a small guide on the installation so that you won't be having so much difficulty on installing it. But peradventure, because anything installation can be very tricky, especially if you've not done it before, but peradventure you are trying to install and you run into difficulty, please reach out to us. All right, reach out to Zubeda, reach out to me, or reach out to Valeria. We'll be able to assist you. All right, so but I provided this guide so that you won't have so much difficulty in that process. All right, so what is Mendeley? Mendeley is actually a referencing manager or a referencing tool that helps you. It can help you organize your document, meaning when you do your search for the articles like I've shown you, you can have a place to store all of them so that when you start writing, you can go there and pick them to reference. You know, so on the online platform for the Mendeley, you can collaborate with other researchers that are using Mendeley. All right, it can help you store your data, meaning store the research information that you have gathered online. And finally, manage your career. What does that really mean, manage your career? It simply means it's making you to be a good researcher. You know, that's simply what it means. It makes you a good researcher. You know, because I have noticed that where students struggle a lot is referencing. You know, you have this article, but you don't know how to reference it. So you see all kinds of referencing. You see, you may be watching a student's list of referencing, and you would see like 3 or 4 different types of references in the reference list. At one time, they would use the Vancouver. At another time, they would use APA. At another time, they would use Harvard. You know, so it's not really very good. And it doesn't tell well of that student in your ability to actually reference appropriately. And, you know, it is very, very good, you know, to make good references. All right, so Mendeley helps you achieve this. All right, so beautiful that it is free. You don't have to pay a dime, you don't have to pay anything. All right, there are others that are there that is good too, but you have to pay something. But Mendeley is free, and I really hope it stays free. Okay, so you can use it in Windows, you can use it in Mac, you can use it in Linux. So I know most people use Windows, but if you use a Mac, you don't need to worry. The Mac version is there. When you go to the website, you can find the Mac version. For some of us that are using Linux, I know most programmers use Linux. So for those of us that are using Linux, very good. There's a Linux version for it. And it works with browsers too. All types of browsers. Mozilla Fox, Safari, Apple, anyone. it works. Google Chrome, it works. Now, getting started with Mendeley. These are the steps, okay? First, you go to this website, www.mendeley.com, and you create an account like you would do an email account. You put your name, your last name, your email, and your password. So the email you're putting, that's your real email, but you don't have to put the password that you're using for your real email here. So what I'm trying to say is, if you're creating an account, you can use a different password that is different from the password you're using for the email that you're going to be giving them. All right. But if you feel you want to use the same password to avoid any cumbersome, forgetfulness and the rest, fine. But I want you to know that whatever password you are choosing, please write it and note it down. All right, so that you don't forget. The next thing is, it will show you this. The moment you have added those things and you say the moment you add your name, surname, email, password, and say get started, it brings you here. Okay, so you click on the sign-in path here, because you've already done the registration here. You click your sign-in path and it's going to bring this. You put that email and you click continue. And it's going to tell you to check your inbox so that you can verify the information. Once you check your inbox, you're going to see something like this. Then you click add a password. Then you put the given name, your surname, and you're going to add the password here. Then confirm account. That's it. Once you confirm account, it brings you here to this point. Okay, so once you're here, you click Get Reference Manager. Once you click Get Reference Manager, which is this, Get Reference Manager, it brings you here. And here you would find the different operating system versions. If you're using Mac, you come here, Mac OS. If you're using Linux, you click here, Mendeley Desktop for Linux. But if you're using Windows like me, you click this one, Download Mendeley Desktop for Windows. So you click here. So once you click here, you're going to find something like this, installation, which is this. So it will show you this first wizard here, setup wizard. You click next. When you click next, it shows you something like this, license agreement. You click I agree and you move ahead. Then it's going to show you something like this. Then you click next. Then it's going to show you this one. Then you click install. Once you click the install, then it's going to start moving. It's going to move and move and move and move and get to the end 100%. Then it's going to show you this. And you're going to click finish. Once you click finish, this is what you're going to see. It's going to show you the Mendeley icon on your desktop. This is what it looks like. And you click on that, so you click on this Mendeley icon and you're going to see this. Welcome to Mendeley. Then you will insert that same email. Then you insert the same password. Then you can check this, stay signed in, so that it's, anytime you go to Mendeley Desktop, you don't have to sign in every time. So you can just check this box and then you can click sign in. When you click sign in, you will see something like this. It will tell you that Reference Manager is already installed. But something else that you really need is not installed, which is the citation plugin for Microsoft Word. So this is the plugin that helps you use Mendeley in your Microsoft Word. So you have to install it. So once it shows you this, come here and click install now. Once you click install now, you're going to see this black not installed is going to change to install. So if you don't see this green installed, it means that your Word plugin is not installed yet. And you have to know that if this your Word plugin is not installed, you won't be able to use Mendeley on your Microsoft Word. That is standard. So once you're sure this is happening, then you click close. All right, you're going to see this. Once you see this add and create, you can just close this. And that is it. Congratulations on successfully completing your first step, which is the installation of Mendeley. So thank you for that. So that is it. So I'm going to be sharing the second slide, which is the Mendeley itself. Okay, so we're here now. So what is going to happen is I have tried to put the steps and the processes in a slide. But so this is the part 2, getting started. So if you look at this, you see, I'm going to be telling you, what the Mendeley does and all that. So I have put everything that you need to know inside this slide. So what I'm going to do now, instead of just teaching you on this slide, it would be nice to just open the software and show you the same thing. Isn't it wonderful that way? So that you can take your time and go through the slide, because there will be no need teaching you the slide and still showing you the same thing in the app. So that will take so much of our time, okay? So you would have access to this slide. You can use it to remind yourself and you can watch the video. So, but I wanted you to know that I have something like this where I'm taking the time to demonstrate step by step. So I'm going to do the demonstration practically for you, okay? So I'm going to stop this so that we can go to Mendeley itself. So I'm going to use the software itself to explain all this. So are you seeing Mendeley?
Yes.
Okay, beautiful. So this is what the Mendeley looks like. Please not to worry, my Mendeley is kind of crowded because I use it almost every day, all right? So you may, when you install yours, this place will be blank definitely because you've not put any article inside. So here will be blank. So I don't want you to feel like, oh, I installed Mendeley. When Felix was teaching, I saw that his own Mendeley has so many things here, but my own is blank. Yes, your own will be blank, okay? It will only be filled like this if you have started putting articles inside your Mendeley, all right? So I just want you to remember that. So the next thing now is these tabs, which you need to remember. The file, what do you have in files? You can add file, you can add folder. That's one beautiful thing about Mendeley, meaning that you can create a folder, maybe your study on maternal mortality. You can use the search strategy and get 20, 30 articles and put them in that folder and call it maternal mortality folder. And you can come here in file and you can say add. Once you click add, it will take you to folders. You see what is happening here? It will take you to different folders. So you can click that particular folder that has all the articles on maternal mortality and you click OK. Once you click OK, it's going to bring that folder here. So you see here, I have several folders. All right, so that's how these folders are added. Okay, so it does that. So if you don't want to add a folder, you can add a file. So meaning that you just searched for one article and you want to add just that article, you just click add file. It will take you to your computer, maybe the download or desktop or there. So you can click on that PDF file, but it has to be a PDF file. So you can click on that PDF file and you say open. Once you do that, then it's going to put it here. So another thing you can find in the file section is add entry manually. So meaning that even if Mendeley can automatically populate, if it's a journal or it's a book or it's a web page, the title, the author's name, the journal, the year, the volume, the issue, the page number, Mendeley can actually do those automatically, but there are instances where you probably will not find that article online. You've tried and tried and tried. You can actually add it manually. I've done that a few times. So if you want to add the article manually, then you can open the article. Then you just copy from the article itself, the title, you paste it here, the author name, you paste it here, the journal name, you paste it here, the year, you paste it here, the volume, you paste it here, the issue, you paste it here, the pages, you paste it here. And the moment you finish pasting everything, you just say save. Okay, so hopefully we will do all that practically, but I wanted to show you what are in these different tabs. Okay, so synchronizing library comes in when you have something on the internet. Okay, because you can use Mendeley on your browser. Maybe you've done the addition in your web browser, you can come here and synchronize the web to your desktop, or you can use the tab here, sync, and it's going to do that automatically. Hopefully I'll show you that too. Now, edit. Here it's basically edit. Okay, you want to find a particular file here, you can click find and find a file. Type here, as you're typing the name, Godin, is going to be showing you articles that have Godin in it. If that's what you're looking for, then you can click on that article. Okay, so that is what you use it for. So in edit, you use this find to search for articles on this list. Okay, you can click a particular article, you can copy that article and all that. You can select all these things and press delete and they will all go away. All right, so that is what the edit does for you. You can create new folder, you can create new group. Like if you check here, you will see I have folders here. These folders are based on, so for every study I'm doing, I have a folder for it. So you can create a folder how? You just come here, click create folder. It shows you this and you type PHU, maybe PHU research, PHU research. All right, and that is it. And enter. So you have a folder PHU research so that every search you are doing, so any search we do now would be under this PHU research. So that's how you create folder. So these are the things the edit helps you do. Now for view, you can view your library as a citation, which I'm going to be showing you better in the Word document. Now, these are the tools you have installed. You see, install web importer, install, uninstall MS Word plugin. So why is showing me uninstall MS Word plugin? It means my Word plugin is already installed and I don't want to uninstall it. That's the Word plugin that I showed you to install at the beginning. So you need to have it installed. Then if you need help, so you come here. So this is how the Mendeley works. So we're going to practicalize it now and see how it works. So how do we practicalize it? We'll go to our Word document. So hold on. Let me share my screen itself so that I can maneuver between the Mendeley and the Word document itself. Okay, please let me know if when you're not seeing anything, okay? All right, so I'm going to go to the Word document. I'm doing a research and the title of the research is clear. We agreed upon it. No, okay, maybe we didn't agree upon it, okay? But I think we all like the research title that I choose. Is straightforward, right? So prevalence of what? Noise-induced hearing loss, right? prevalence of noise-induced hearing loss among musicians. So that is what our title looks like. Then I'll make it bold. Then I want to write my background, more like an introduction. So I put my introduction for my research. So in order to help me write my introduction, I probably have done the search. I've gotten articles and the rest of them. So, but now from all the things I've read, I want to flow. So I can make my opening statement sound like this. I can say globally, noise-induced hearing loss affects many musicians, full stop. Globally, noise-induced hearing loss affects many musicians. This is a strong statement. It's a very strong statement. So meaning I am making a case that noise-induced hearing loss affects many musicians. How am I so sure about this? I need evidence. I need literatures to back up this strong statement I have made. So how do I get that? I look at my word, the key terms. Noise-induced hearing loss affect musicians globally. So I go to my search engine. All right. Then I'd mention something. So noise-induced hearing loss. Then I'm going to lock it. Noise-induced hearing loss and musicians and globally, or I can say globally or worldwide. That's another term to use. Then I can say PDF. Then I can say enter and see what it gives me. So the first, so I have to look for an article that will help me defend that statement I've made. So this particular article says awareness of noise-induced hearing loss. I will leave that because I'm not interested in awareness, because I'm saying noise-induced hearing loss affects people in any country globally. So look at this. It says prevalence of noise-induced hearing loss, but among textiles, I'm going to leave that. So here it says an overview of occupational noise-induced hearing loss. Okay, I'm going to check that out, because these are musicians, it's their occupation. So let me see what that article has to offer. So I open this article, okay, and it says an overview of occupational noise-induced hearing loss among workers, epidemiology, pathogenesis, and preventive measures. And I scroll to it, and I see what the abstract says. Occupational noise hearing loss is the most prevalent occupational disease in the world. Are you seeing that? So this is an occupation, musicians, and this article is backing what I have said. So I like it. I want to reference this article to back up that point I have made. So what do? I have to download it. So I come here, PDF, I download this article. I need it. I want it to back the point I have made. So I click the PDF and I download this article. All right. And I can call it Article 1. You can name it whatever you like. Or the best way to save most times is using one of the author, et al, and the ye. All right, that's another good way to actually do this thing. So you look at this, this is 2020, very current. So you can copy the author's name, the first author, then you can come here and put that author name here and say et al 2020, right? Yeah, 2020. Okay, so I'm going to save it in my download, all right, permit me. But the proper thing to do is to create a folder on your desktop or in your document for noise-induced hearing loss. And as you search for these articles, you just drop them in that folder, all right? So I'm going to save this on my download. So I have found one article to defend this big statement I have made here, that noise-induced hearing loss affects many musicians. So I have that article. So I want to bring it inside my Mendeley. So what do? I come to File, Add File, see it here in my download, see the article. So I click on it and I open. And it's here inside this PHU research I have created. So I click on it and it has all the information I need. Wow. I don't even need to update, because most times when you impute the article, it may give you the author's name, it may give you the journal name, it may give you the year, maybe the volume and the issue, but sometimes it may not give you the page. So what you do, if it doesn't give you the page, you come here, right click and say update details. That's what you do. But in this case, it's so fantastic that when I click the article I've added, all the informations I need are there. So I have everything. So I don't need to do any updates anymore. Everything is here. So I have this. So I have to cite this. Then I go back to my Word. You go to your references. When you go to your references, you have to check for the citation style. You have to choose the citation style you want to use. So for PHU, we recommend either Vancouver or APA. So I'm going to choose APA. So I come here and I'll choose APA. Where's my APA? See it here. American Psychological Association 7th edition. That's what we have now. If you click, because for me now that I use this all the time, maybe I am the one that sought APA 7th edition. If you now click here in your own case, and maybe what you have here is 6th edition, or you don't have APA at all, you can actually get it. How do you get it? You come here. If you can't find APA on the recommended list, you come here and click More Styles. Once you click More Styles, it's going to open this for you. Okay? So it went off. I don't know why. Okay? You come here, you click More Styles. So it's going to show you this. Okay? So as it shows you this, you can type anything you are looking for there. So I'm looking for APA, then I can type American, just type it there. If it's Vancouver you need, you type Vancouver here. It will bring out Sage, Vancouver, whatever Vancouver. But in our own case, it is this one we use, Vancouver superscript. Okay, Vancouver superscript, or you can use Vancouver brackets. But Vancouver is actually Vancouver. It's the same thing. They reference a number, so it won't really matter. But for me, I would recommend Vancouver superscript. So this is where you come to search for the reference you need. So once you find what you need, you click on it. Once you click on it, you come here and click Use this style. Once you say use this style, you click done. The moment you say done, then it's going to reflect here on your Word document. It's going to reflect here. So when you now click this drop down, you're going to see it appear here. All right, so that's how you get more styles in case you're not able to find them here. So in this case now, I'm going to choose American Psychological Association 7th edition because that is what we are using at PHU of Vancouver. All right, so I have chosen this. So it means that everything I'm referencing now would be upper 7th edition. So that is settled. So I found the article that I need. I've clicked on it. And I've seen that all the informations are there. So I go to where I want to cite it. And I click here. All right, inside before the full stop. Vancouver comes after the full stop, but upper comes before the full stop. So I put my cursor there before the full stop. I come here and I click insert citation. It shows me this. I go to Mendeley. What I want to reference is already highlighted. You have to make sure it is already highlighted. Once you're sure what you want to reference is highlighted, you come here and click Cite. That's it. Chen et al. 2020. So that is settled. All right. So I've said globally, noise-induced hearing loss affects many musicians. But if I'm going to be saying globally, I can't defend that statement with only one article. I'm saying globally. Probably this article I am using, this first article I am using is done where methodology. Okay, this one is a systematic review. Beautiful. So meaning that this can go very well with global because it will pick articles from different countries. Okay, but that is one article. But for that big statement, I need at least 2 articles. So I'm going to search for another one. So I'm going to search for another one. So I'm going to come here and say next. But peradventure, you notice that most of the article is giving you here are old. You can actually customize the year it gives to you. How? You come to tools, you click on tools, and you come here anytime. You click on anytime and you do custom range. So the age that is usually recommended is 10 years. So 10 years will be 2012, let's say 2013. So I say, please give me articles from 2013 to 2022. So you've custom range. So it's not going to give you anything less than 2013. All right. So once you custom, you say go. And you see, this is 2019. This is 2016. This is 2018. This is 2020. This is 2019. You see? So it's going to be giving you articles that are within 2013 to 2022. All right. So let's see another article we're going to be using. Okay, this one is saying, what is noise-induced hearing loss? Approximately 360 million people worldwide suffer from music. Okay, that is relevant, but let me go to the next page and see if I'll find another thing. Okay, what is noise? Okay, this one is also making a statement, people worldwide suffer. Okay, so let's open this article and see if it will be helpful for us to also help us back our statement. What is noise-induced hearing loss? So this is another article, but this one looks like it's a hospital article. So we're not going to use this. So we're going to leave this. So let's keep moving. Okay, background worldwide. So let's see what this one is saying. Okay, all right. So I'm going to come here in my search strategy now, and I'm going to add something else, maybe to boost my chances to find musicians. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to do musicians. I'm going to do all. I'm going to add instrumentalists. I'm going to add instrumentalists and global or worldwide. All right, let's see this one. What is this one saying? Oh, okay, this one is, yeah, okay, we can use this one. Surrounded by sound, the impact of tinnitus on musicians. Okay, so this one is another article we can use. So, but before you use it, you have to download it. So we're going to download this article. So I've downloaded it. So I'm going to open it. So I'm going to save it. Let's check the year so that we're sure. But because of what we did, it should be within 10 years. Should be within 10 years. So this is 2021, very current, very good. So I'm going to copy this author's name. I'm going to save now. So I'm going to add this et al. 2021. So I'm going to save it. So that's how you populate your article. Then I'm going to go back to Mendeley and I'm going to add it into my library. So I come to File, Add File. So I'm going to choose it, see it here. I click on it and I add it. It's there. So I'm going to click on it just to be sure everything is there. Okay, so I click on it. You see what I told you before? It doesn't have a page number. See that thing I told you that sometimes the page number may be missing, but this one was fantastic. It has it. So this doesn't have a page number. You can update and see if it will show. If it doesn't, then you can type it in manually. So we're going to do right click and we're going to say update. So with the update, it didn't update the page number. So the article is here. We can actually get the page number 1 to 16. Very easy. So you come back to your Mendeley and you put 1 to 16. And that's it. And it's there. So I have everything, every information I need for this article is here on the Mendeley. So I go back to the Word document and I'm going to add it there. So my cursor is still there. So I'm going to come here because anywhere you want the reference to be, that's where you're going to put your cursor. So my cursor is still there before the full stop. So I'm going to come here and click Insert. Go to Mendeley. It's highlighted. So you have to make sure or ensure that the article you want to reference is what is highlighted. So be sure is that one. So it's highlighted and all the information you need is there. So you come here, Cites, and click Cites. Sorry, I have to go back again. So my cursor is here. So I'm in References. I click Insert Citation. Go to Mendeley. It's highlighted and I click Cites. And it's there. So now I have Chen et al. 2020 and I have Boons, but they are looking different. So you have to merge them. You do that when you have more than one. So you're going to merge them because the way it is, that's not how it's supposed to be. Brackets shouldn't be separating the references. So how do you merge them? You highlight them, the two references, and you come here. The moment, you see, look at the Mendeley showing Insert Citation. But the moment you highlight what you want to merge, it changes from Insert Citation to Merge Citation. So you click Merge, and it's going to merge the two. You see, it looks better this way. All right, and you have your full stop. So that's how you will keep doing your referencing. Then if you now want to populate your reference list, you will now have to come down and manually type reference yourself. you're going to type reference yourself. Please watch. This is a very important step. Once you finish, so you type reference yourself, you can now bold it. Then put your cursor under the reference so that it can automatically populate your reference list. So once your cursor is here, just come here, insert bibliography. Once you click insert bibliography, it will automatically populate the reference below. And it's going to arrange it alphabetically, meaning B will come before C. So you see, it's automatically done. So you don't need to stress yourself and be doing this manually. So let's do another one. Let's say I've made the first statement. Globally, noise-induced hearing loss affects many musicians. It has also been observed that age is also a factor in increased prevalence. Okay, it has also been observed that age is a factor. Let's remove the also. We can say it has also been observed that age is a factor in increased prevalence of noise-induced hearing loss. Maybe I can use the abbreviation here, then maybe here I can do in bracket noise-induced hearing loss, because I can't be typing noise-induced hearing loss every time. That's a long, okay, in the increased, okay, correct, loss. No, noise-induced hearing loss. Okay, so now I have made another strong statement to say that age has a relationship with noise-induced hearing loss. So I have to go to the net and search for that information. So I think this is, because of our time, we'll just do this one. So I come back to this and I'm going to add something. So I have my noise-induced hearing loss, I have my musicians, I have my instrumentalists, then I'm going to remove this global, I'm going to add age. I'm going to remove this, remove the bracket, and I'm going to add age because I have a new variable now, which I want to see the association. So I search. All right, so the prevalence of, so here, noise-induced hearing loss among professional musicians. So let's check this, because for this to come out, it means there's something age here. So what we're going to do, we're going to check the resolve. Okay, so sometimes you can come here and search for age and see if it said anything about age. Okay, it said something about age. So it said something about age. Let's see. Okay, so let's see what it says about age. Okay, so you see, it says to evaluate the absolute effect of age on hearing loss, independent of exposure duration. So meaning they did something on age, possibly. Okay, it didn't show. So maybe what we can do, we can come here, maybe add it first so that it will be very obvious. Okay, we can say effects and age and noise-induced hearing loss and musicians. Then we can take the age out of here. So let it come first and let's see whether something on age will come out first. Okay, so health effect. Okay, my study is here and I mentioned something on age. That's why it's coming out first. Okay, so let us check. We may have to, let's see. We may have to down or check on the, yes, I think I mentioned something on. So you see, most 90.28% and 37% of respondents were male. And within the, okay, also this were aware the loud sound, blah, blah, blah. So if we download this, I think I mentioned something on age in this paper. There was a significant association between age and noise-induced hearing loss. So I think that is why it came out. So even if you check the statistical result, are you seeing it? So it's here. So you see, from this data, you can see that those that are older than 35 years, they have more prevalence of noise-induced hearing loss, 65.88 against 34.12. And you see the chi-square, you see the p-value is statistically significant. And look at the odds ratio. So this odds ratio is telling us that those that are older in age are 3.34 times more likely to have noise-induced hearing loss. So this paper has something on age associated with noise-induced hearing loss. So we're going to download this. All right. I think this was published 2019. So it's still current. So I'm going to download this paper. I'm going to add my surname, Anyem and Douglas 2021. So we're going to save this. So this is one of the articles that we're going to use to defend that proof. So we're going to add it. And you know, we've been using this to add. You may just click here and add. It's the same thing. You don't have to go that way. You can click here and add the article. So this is the article, I can add it. Then once I add it, I can click to see whether all the informations are there. Beautiful, beautiful. All the informations you need are there. So you don't need to right click and update. All of them are there. So I need to reference this. So I go back to the Word document. I put the cursor where I want it to be. I go to insert citation, go to Mandalay, and ensure the one you want to reference is the one that is highlighted. Then you click cite, and it's going to come there. Immediately it hits there, it populates itself on the reference list automatically. See it here. So because it is A, it moved B and C down. So as you keep updating your references here, your reference list updates itself automatically. So what I recommend is create the reference list when you have at least added 2 references. So as you add the third, the fourth, you keep monitoring them. All right. Now, if peradventure you have finished using Vancouver and your assessor says, oh, I don't want you to use Vancouver. You finished using APA. Oh, I don't want you to use APA because it has happened to me. I wrote a paper for a particular journal, and that journal uses APA. And that paper was not accepted. And I had to move the paper to another journal, and the journal was using Vancouver. But because I used Mendeley, I didn't have to manually change APA to Vancouver. No. All I did was I came to this place and I replaced the style, and it changed the whole reference. And that is what's going to happen here. So if I don't want to use APA anymore, I want to use Vancouver superscript, I can just click Vancouver superscript and see. It has changed from APA to numbers. And it has changed the reference to numbers, which is what Vancouver is, which is referencing and arranging it based on number. Why APA arranges it based on alphabet. You know, so you see how beautiful it is to use an automated referencing. It saves you stress and it ensures your references are accurate, because that's where students have a lot of issues. With this, you won't have, wrong references. I think this is where we're going to end it for today. Sorry, this is long, but it's important that we address this. So thank you very much for listening. So I'm going to take your questions before we wrap up this session for this evening. Thank you.
We have a question, Felix.
Could you quickly show if you are citing verbatim? Okay, all right. If you're citing verbatim and you need to show the page number, it's almost the same thing Narinda is asking. I think so. If you are quoting, meaning like a definition. So if you are using a definition, you're going to quote it verbatim, and you're going to put a quotation mark on it. So what that means is, if I, let me share my Word document again. So if you have a Word document and you have a definition of maternal mortality for WHO, that definition has to be in quotation mark like this. Then you have to add the definition, and you're going to close that definition, and you're going to cite where you got that definition from. You don't need to paraphrase the definition. You can put it that way, but you have to put it in quotation marks like this to show that it is verbatim, and you will have to reference it with all the things that comes in a reference. You know, the author's name, the title, the year, the volume, and the rest of them. Yeah. So I don't know if that's what Enosh meant, but I know that is what Narinda is talking about. Yeah. Hamdia?
Yes, thank you, Dr. Felix.
Thank you.
And hello, dear Valeria and Dr. Zubaydah. I have a question about if we can use Mendeley for other type of the, document. For example, now you only use those who are PDF. We have website, we have
Good.
Many other things. How we can make it reference by Mendeley?
Okay, very good. So I'm going to show you that. So I'm going to share my browser now. No, let me share my screen so that you can see everything. Let's say definition. Let's say definition. Definition of
hair loss.
Yeah, let's say, yeah, definition of noise-induced hearing loss. And maybe I can add WHO at the end to see if WHO is going to give me that definition. Then I'm going to enter. So I have something from Clever. No, I don't need from there. Okay, just a second. Okay, so let's say WHO and noise-induced hearing loss. It's supposed to have something from WHO on noise-induced hearing loss. Okay, so this is something from WHO. So I'm going to open that, addressing the rising. So let's open this, and it's a website, but it's a report. So it's a report. It's this one is a report. Let me see if I will find something. A website. Yeah.
For example, Wikipedia. For example, it's not website.
Yeah, but you know, Wikipedia is not scientific.
Yes, I know.
For example, yeah, example exactly. So I was actually wanted to use WHO so that okay, let me check the next page. If I don't find okay, this is HealthGov, so let's try this. Okay, HealthGov is still officially recognized because it's a government website. Okay, let's say you have this, right? This is what you mean. Good. And you want to reference this, right? This page now. Now, what you would do is you would have to install the Mendeley for your browser.
Yes.
Okay. And I showed that on the website. Oh, sorry, on my PowerPoint slide. Although I have it installed here already. Once you install it, it's going to give you this symbol. So if you check this slide, it is there in one of the places. In one of the places where I showed you. Aha, this is it. Okay, no, it's not here. So it's here. So it's this one. Yeah, online version, you know, where I was showing you Mendeley in online version. So you can go to Mendeley and you can okay, you can download the plugin. Okay, so if you do that, like, you know, this is a Loom plugin, you know, you can download plugins. Mendeley has a plugin, all right? If you want to make it easy, you can just type Mendeley Chrome extension. Once you type Mendeley's Chrome extension, it's going to come out. You just click on it,
Yes,
and it's going to show you where to install the extension. Okay, so you just click on it. You know, mine is already there. That's why it's showing me remove from Chrome. But in your own case, it will tell you add to Chrome. You just click on it and add it. So once you do that, you will always be seeing this symbol. That's what helps you to add websites. So once you find a website like this you like, you just click on the Mendeley, and it's going to show you the website here. See it here. All right?
yes.
Yeah. Did you see that? So once it shows you this, you just say add to Mendeley. So it's added it to Mendeley. Then you have to go to your Mendeley and do the synchronization to bring this into your Mendeley. So once you've added this website to your Mendeley, then you would have to come to your Mendeley and click on this sync. Once you click on the sync, it's going to move the web article into your desktop. So you see, it's reading, it's reading, it's reading, it's reading it. So you're going to add it here. Okay, so it has added it into your library. So you would have to look for it. So what is the name? It says reduce the proportion of adults. So you can come to recently added, then you can type these words so that it will find it for you. Reduce the proportion. Okay, is that it? I am not seeing if document. I have synced, so reduce. Okay. All right, let me sync again. It's not showing yet. It has added and I've synced. So let me do another sync and see again. So it's supposed to be showing here now because it syncs from the internet into this place. So I don't know why it's not showing yet. Okay, so that is how you can add articles from here into your Mendeley. So you click on it and you sync it, and it's supposed to show here. Okay, but alternatively, I can show you what to do alternatively while we're waiting for it to sync.
How we can take it in our file related to that research?
Or we can do what?
Bring this article to our PDF, PUH, that you make special for our that research.
Yes, but since it's a web page, it will not be easy to convert it to a PDF. But alternatively, if you do this, if you do what I've done and you sync and it's not showing, like in this case, maybe it will come or it's still syncing. I can't tell. Let's say view library. I'm trying to view my library online. So I will show you another quick way to still do something like that. This is my library. So this is it. It's there, so I don't know why it's not. It's in my list, it's there. Reduce the proportion. So I don't know why it's not showing on my desktop. Okay, so that's not a problem. Okay, so alternatively, once you have something like this, which is a website, and you want to add it, okay? So you can come here, all documents, then you can click File, Add Entry manually. Then, since it's a web page, you can come here and choose Web Page.
Yes.
Now, the title of the article, you can come here and pick the title of the article, which is this. And you can put it here as the title of the article. Now, for the authors, it's the H, that's the Health People 2013, Health People 2030, but we can check if there's another. So it's Health Gov. So Health Gov. Health Gov. Then the publication is still the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, or the Office of Disease Prevention and Health Promotion. So this is the people that are making the publication. So you can actually type in that. Let's see if we can get it down from here so that it will be easy. Okay. So it's the U.S. Okay, U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. So those are the publications. So you can put it here. So for the yay, that's the yay, we can still get that. So for the yay, is that 2009 I'm seeing, or yeah, 09, so 2009. So you can add 2009 here and it will be page 1. So once that is done, the last thing that follows is the website and the dates. So you can come here and copy the website itself. Then you can come here and put the website here and put the date when you retrieve it, which is 01/06/2022. So that's another thing you can do. So you can actually add this manually, then you can save. So once you save, it is here. See it here. Okay, so we can reference this now. So you can go back to your Word document. Possibly this is a quote you have made from there. So let me copy a real quote and let me not just put something arbitrary. I can come here and maybe copy this. Sorry, let me take out this. I can come here for, I can copy this directly. And I can paste it here. It's a direct quote and I want to reference it. So I can put my cursor here and I do insert, go to Mandalay, and it's highlighted and I can cite. So it's there, number 4. So see it here. So it has cited the website.
Yes.
Cited when, So this is how you do it, but the way it's proper is to install that extension, and you can actually click on it, synchronize, but I don't know why it's not showing now. So I had to do the longer method, which is inputting it manually, which still works.
Yes. And my question is that if we want to change something's view in the reference list on the in the text, if we arrange it before with Mendeley, that can we manually add something in the text of our manuscript, changing in reference list, for example? No. So all of them must be added by Mendeley.
Mendeley, yes. That is one of the challenges with Mendeley. If you start using it, you can't add anything manually, not at all. It has to be automatically added by Mendeley. Yes, you can't, yeah.
Thank you, Victor.
Thank you too. Any other question, please, Zubeda? Any other
yes,
question?
we have one more. Ideally, how many references should be included in the final assignment?
Valeria?
I would say it's a trick question, because it's not like if we see less than 10 references, we are going to say that that's bad paper. But you need to consider that you are going to review a lot of papers, and you are not, or just websites, and you're not going to include them all, because not all are going to comply with your criteria for inclusion that you choose. So I don't dare to say a number, but I think that I don't think I have ever seen an assignment with less than 10. Felix?
Yes, I agree.
Yes, but you have to review a lot, because again, you're not going to include them all. Perhaps you read one and say, no, this is not something I consider including because it goes beyond the scope of my assignment. But you have to include, you just remember that why do we reference? It's not because we need papers to back up what we think. It's because we need to know what is happening with a scientific basis. So you need to review a lot.
Yes, I completely agree with Valeria, because the more you reference, the more you show scientific evidence that your work is rich. Yeah. All right.
Thank you for the answer. We have a second question. How do you reference or incite facts that are itemized as 1, 2, 3, etc., or A, B, C?
How do you reference a list? Yes, a document that has, yes. I know there are instances like that where you are reading something, maybe it wants to give you information on let's say barriers to antenatal utilization, and it will list them for you, and it's from one article, and you want to reference the items that it gave you, like the number 1, the number 2, the number 3. So what I usually recommend for students is this. So I'm going to open my Word document again. So probably you have that item. So what I recommend is, if you have like barriers to A and C utilization, and the article gave you number 1, blah, 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 number 2, blah, 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 number 3, blah, blah, blah. So it's easy to just reference the heading. So meaning you can add that reference here. Okay? You can add that reference here. It's actually easier that way. But I have seen instances where they probably will not reference this, meaning they probably will not reference this. So for this first item, they will put a reference here. For the second item, they will put the same reference here. For the third item, they will put the same reference here. Well, I don't want to say this one is wrong or this one is right, but I think it's still more convenient to actually put one reference up. Whoever is reading just knows that these things you are mentioning are coming from this heading. So I don't know, what do you think, Valeria, on this question?
Agreed, mostly on referencing on the, as you said, where is your pointer right now? I think that's what I have seen commonly. I also mentioned in some cases they use tables when it's a list. And when the list doesn't need to be as a list, let's say that you say that for maternal mortality, you consider 3 criteria and you want to list them. You can put them not on a list because they don't need to do verbatim. They can be, you can put what you need to of that definition, and you don't need to put the list as it goes. It's important to remember that, because we tend to just copy and paste, and that gets our similarity score up, and it also gets our word count up. And those are things that we don't need.
Exactly. Thank you, Valeria, for the input.
Thank you so much. One last question, please. Can this software be used for literature review?
Can it be used for what? Literature review, yes.
Yeah,
of course, yeah. I mean, that's the purpose of teaching this, yes. It can be used for any form of writing as long as that writing needs a reference. Yes.
Thank you, Felix.
Thank you. Yeah, I saw something, someone was asking that Tonyfin will flag off, will flag up definitions or quotations, even if they are in quote. Of course, that is why you are giving the liberty of up to 20% similarities, because we know you're going to define something. So do you want to make the whole of your work a definition? It's not going to be possible. So we assume that in the whole of your work, you may have at least 3 definitions most. And those 3 definitions is not enough to give you 20% of Turnitin similarity scores. So we make room for things like definitions, things like words that are similar across, like utilization, antenatal care, all those things, maternal mortality, yeah. So all these similarity things you can't paraphrase are what make up the 20%, 20 to 25%. So yes, it's going to flag it up. So, but it's not supposed to be a problem, because you're not going to have much of that in your work. Yeah, so you're still safe.
Completely agreed on that. And to include less references could be more effective than a lot. I don't think that less references are more effective than a lot. I think references are a representation of what you have reviewed. So if we see that you have reviewed only 5 papers, we are going to know that your knowledge of the topic at hand is not large, and it's difficult to make an assignment with such limited knowledge, let's say, and then the understanding. But let's remember that using verbatim, using definitions, it's limited. You cannot argue a whole paper on just definitions or using verbatim.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just a few, and that's not enough to escalate your plagiarism score, So yeah, it means including less references could be effective. Okay, you just answered that now, Valeria. To focus more on our knowledge. And okay, all right, I think we have to close out now. We've stayed for almost 2 hours, which means you all enjoyed the session today. Thank you so much, Zubeda and Valeria, for your sessions. And students, thank you too for showing up. And the recording will be available, and we're hoping to see many more final assignments using automated referencing software. I know it's, it will be so beautiful. to actually have you utilize what you've learned today. So thank you so much. Thank you very much. Valeria, you have final words?
Yes, I
for the
have.
student?
I want to join your thanks for everyone to join today. And I do want to acknowledge that we have reviewed some late submissions for forum contributions, and we have seen an improvement in referencing style that is significant. And we are thrilled that you are using what we are teaching here. And we hope, as Felix says, this is useful for you as well. Once the recording is available, on that discussion, you can ask your questions and we will be happy to address them, so that at the moment that you deliver your assignment, you are sure that you have no issues with the part of referencing. Thank you, everyone. And thank you, Felix, for facilitating.
Thank you. Zubeda, your final words for the student?
Yes, thank you so much, Felix, for having shared such crucial information with everyone. And dear students, it's been a pleasure being with all of you today. Thank you. Goodbye.
We would also like to thank APGP for the help they provide all these sessions. For all of us, the help of APGP is invaluable. And for all of those of you that are participating in our research sessions, we are hoping to see you there next month. Goodbye.
Goodbye, everyone. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.